one thing I've meditated on is being a friend would like to have.
Mhm.
And imagine how crazy it would be if that sentiment was brought into relationships.
Question is, can men and women be friends? Right.
Mm.
My answer to that is yes and no. So let's say there's a woman and she's friends with a guy. She's able to stay just friends with him so long as she's not attracted to him. As soon as she finds somebody that she's attracted to, and she becomes attracted to this guy, they can no longer just be friends, in my opinion. I'm just saying that they will friend zone a guy that they're not attracted to. There's nothing
I
wrong with
don't
that. They're just not attracted to him.
I don't think the friend zone exists.
Mhm.
And the reason I say that is like basically right. Like there's a relationship where y'all are dating, and then there's just relationships in general. Well, if you begin a relationship with somebody wanting to sleep with them, right?
Mhm.
And that's your end goal. That is the purpose of engaging that in that relationship with them. Then y'all can't just now be friends. You got to leave that person alone because now y'all have two different interests. And it's basically like either you're being manipulative, like acting like you're this person's friend, or they're being manipulative.
So let's say you have somebody that's they're friends, right? And this guy develops feelings for this girl for whatever reason.
Mm.
He makes an approach. He is open and honest with how he feels and what he wants. It's not trying to manipulate her. She says, "No, I just want to be friends." Now, I could be wrong, and in some cases, I am. But for the modern woman, 9 times out of 10, there's only one or two reasons why that she just wants to be friends with this guy. She's either not attracted to him or she already is with somebody. And I'd argue that if she is with somebody, she might still sleep with this guy. You know what I'm saying? And they be friends with benefits. But she just wants to be friends because she's not attracted. A sexual attraction or physical attraction is what separates friends from lovers, or whatever the word you want to use is. It's that physical attraction.
What about people who are, what is it, demisexual? Like they can't be attracted to people unless there's an
I don't
emotional
know. I
bond.
don't know. I don't know
Which
what the hell that is, and I'm not gonna address it.
I kind of I
I'm
low
not gonna
key
address.
I low key think it's bullshit, but you
But
would agree that you're probably sapiosexual.
what do you mean attracted to intelligence? Well, you know
Yeah.
what? It's interesting. So the first thing I see when I see an attractive, I just went to Little Caesars not too long ago, and there was this girl in the drive-thru, a little clerk cashier. I was like, damn, she's fine. But that I had an initial physical attraction because she looks good. However, if she opens up her mouth and she sounds like a straight hood booger, all that attraction is gone. And I ain't even trying to
Mm.
sleep with her or anything like that. So my physical attraction is still gonna be there as far as like I get what you're saying as far as sapial attraction, but I don't necessarily need that at the first glance. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to hear somebody talk to be attracted to them. But if I find that their mind is not like in line with what I like mentally, yeah, it is gonna kill the attraction more or less. So just to kind of clarify that, I know that a lot of times people talk about sapiosexual, they have to have like a mental connection or to be attracted to somebody, and that's not necessarily the case.
I would say that men and women can be friends, but I would say that there's a line there. You know what I mean?
Mm.
There's a line. There just is. Now there has been research done. I think there's like this group that's like basically they raise their kids together in like clutches basically. And
And what?
people,
And clutches?
it's like you have a family group and you grow up with a group of kids and they're basically like your siblings, but y'all aren't siblings, like y'all aren't blood relatives.
So basically, they just conjured some shit up.
Different cultures, different strokes. But and it's basically like people in these familial groups, even though they're not blood relatives, the kids that grow up in that generally won't date each other. And so there is a lot to be said about maybe a long time friendship, like y'all grew up together. But generally, I think that men and women can be friends, but there's just a line. Like like I used to hang out at your house all the time, right? You can't do that with a girl.
That's
I mean,
true.
you can.
That's
but
true. That's true. But why can't you do that? Because of sexual attraction. Do I think men and women can be friends? Yes. I guess it really just depends on how close we're friends. Because there's a such thing as friends, best friends, and there's also a such thing as acquaintances. So
Yeah.
you know,
All
how
I'm
close can you
saying
be?
is okay. Let's say you're dating a girl and she has a guy friend.
I don't like where this is
And
going, but continue.
and you know how women talk about their relationships with their friends.
Mm.
Would you be comfortable with your girlfriend going to another guy and talking to him about y'all relationship?
Absolutely not. I don't want her talking to another girl about our relationship. I don't want her talking to. I mean, she can talk to her mom. I guess that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Her mom can actually give her, maybe some guidance, but just kind of spreading our business out there. No, I don't like that.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. There are girls, and this gets into like, there has been this long thing, and it's like people selling out their group. People sell out their group to gain more acceptance. And there's been this long thing where women will go around and say, I only hang out with guys, I only have guy friends because girls have too much drama. What do you interpret from that?
On the one hand, I can understand that. I think men are much more straightforward and honest with how we feel. If we say we're fine, or if we say something, that's generally what we mean. You know what I'm saying? And we don't tend to talk behind each other's back and gossip like a lot of women do. But at the same time, you can't help but think, okay, what are you doing with all these guys that you're spending time with?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's the wrong way to look at it, but it's kind of, I don't know.
And
You don't
then
have any female friends. You don't get along with any females because you may be just getting along with these guys because they're attracted to you.
that's the thing that always throws me for a loop when I talk to girls is they talk about like having guy friends. And immediately I see that to be a red flag, primarily because it either implies you're either what we'd call a loose woman. We're trying to clean up the dialogue for our monetization goals. If you would like
You're
to
right.
subscribe, like, and share, we got a Cash App, it's a, you know, if you'd like to give, but definitely subscribe. But it's generally a red flag to me. I see it as like it's either you're a loose woman or you are a little bit overly oblivious or you enjoy the male attention a little bit too much. Because honestly, like most guys are not trying to be your friend. That's just maybe this is me selling out my group, and I'm not saying that men and women can't be friends. You know what I mean? You're in class with a girl, she's interesting. Your work colleague happens to be female, she's chill. You know what I mean? But then that's some sort of like you guys have a shared activity type deal. But a man will generally never approach a woman for friendship.
They don't have a lot of commonalities between them. Sometimes that's the case, but a lot of times it's not. And so a lot of women, men will probably find if they weren't attracted to them, probably find a lot of women boring.
I think there's just certain things, and it's weird because there is the concept of toxic masculinity, but it gets to a point where subtly it is reinforced by females. And I'm not saying that men don't reinforce it, but what I'm saying is that you can talk to your male best friend about shit and allow yourself to be vulnerable in that place of masculinity, you know what I mean? But if you were friends with a girl and allowed yourself to be vulnerable like that, it would be
She'll see you as weak. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll see you as weak. And that's the thing. Like, you want men to be vulnerable, you want men to talk about their feelings, but a lot of times you can't handle what comes with that. You can't handle a man telling you about his day. You know what I'm saying? Because first of all, some women probably don't even think we have feelings like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And the thing is that if we tell you about every little thing that bothers us, you're gonna be overwhelmed. You can go to a man and a lot of times we have shared experiences. He's dealing with the same thing that you are in the same way because he's also a man. Yeah. You know, not the same exact way. He's not living your life, but he's a man as well. You know what I'm saying? He has the same societal expectations on his back that you do.
But then to the opposite end, I feel like we're never really allowed to be emotional. Like, no. It's weird because I guess women do have a lot of expectations, but I'm not a woman, so I can't speak from the female's perspective. But men you're always performing. You're always performing masculinity. And it's I guess it's easier for men to be friends with other men because we're both performers and we understand the weight of that performance. Right. But it gets weird because we get so ingrained in that performance that we subtly do become numb to women and their issues.
Well, I think it's a thing of where, so I know with me, I don't really like to ask for help with certain things. And so when other people ask me for help, it's like, well, why can't you just do what I did? You know what I'm saying? We don't learn empathy because we don't have empathy for ourselves. Yeah. We tell ourselves to just, stand up, brush it off, and keep moving. And so we don't want to hear from somebody else. We don't know how to be emotionally open with ourselves, or I guess you could just say honest would be the best word to say. We don't know how to be honest with ourselves. I don't want to hear that from somebody else. I want to hear anybody else complain. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not complaining, you don't need to be complaining. If I won't sit and listen to myself and talk to myself about how I'm feeling, if I won't even admit my own emotions, with me personally, just with me in the room, just talking to myself or whatever the case is, then I don't want to hear yours. So yeah, I mean, us not having an outlet like that numbs us from other people's pain and experience or emotions or whatever the case is.
I really appreciate our friendship though, that we're able to just have open conversations about shit. I know you've helped me out through like a lot of different little shit. I would say, how do you feel about friends with benefits?
Friends with the benefits. I think that name is a little bit of a misnomer. Because think about it. If you're friends with somebody and sleeping with them, then you're in a relationship. What you oftentimes see, that's what a relationship is, right? You enjoy each other's company, you spend time with each other. You're friends, but you're also involved sexually.
Here's a revolutionary idea. I think that we all would be better off if we just had friends with benefits. You know what I mean? Because imagine if you were really, really good friends with a girl, like really, really good friends. Like, how friends are a little bit more open than people who are in a relationship with each other because they're friends. There's not as much expectation. You had a child with her, you would probably have a better understanding of her mentality than in a lot of scenarios where it was a woman you were dating.
It's interesting that you said you're talking about that people are friends, that they're a lot more open with their friends than they are their partners, because I think personally, because it's a performance that you have to have in a relationship. You're trying to perform in order to keep that person attracted to you. And so I think that would be good if we could have friends, if we could be friends with the people that we're sleeping with. But in order to develop that friendship, in order to develop that deep connection, you have to put off sex. And I don't think people are willing to do that. Because
Yeah.
if you're sleeping with somebody, that's going to blind you to a lot of things that you might like or dislike. But usually the things that you're going to dislike are usually the red flags because you're sleeping with them. And don't let
Yeah.
them be halfway decent at it. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely not going to be thinking about this and that and trying to form a relationship. You're just trying to explore the sexual avenue. So in order to actually develop a close connection or see if you have a connection with somebody, you are going to have to put off sex for a certain amount of time. And it's probably going to be longer than what most people are willing to do. So, if you want to be friends with somebody, you know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of fears that guys have is that, they don't want to be put in the friend zone. I think that in a lot of cases, women will go after a certain type of guy, and that guy usually isn't friendly.
Exactly.
You think
But
you think I'm correct in saying that?
Isn't that weird though?
Well, here's the thing. I think that what women are doing is they're trying to look for the guy who is able to provide and protect. And they don't have a balanced view of that because a lot of them don't have fathers. We don't even need to go into the Black community. So they're looking for they can't see it in subtle nuanced things. They can't see it in this guy works. He's a provider. They can't see it in little things like that. They can't see that the guy carries himself in such a way so he can protect me. He's a man. They have to have these exaggerated shows of masculinity and dominance in order to see, oh, this guy can protect me, this guy can provide. They look for exaggerated things like a whole lot of money instead of just a stable living. They look for things like, oh, he's rough, he's got tattoos, he's got this, he's a gang member, instead of him just being a normal guy and him just being masculine in that. It's all got to be exaggerated so that they can see it. They can't see it in just a regular guy. But that's what they're looking for, somebody to provide and protect. And there are other things that they're looking for as well. But, they have to see that in an exaggerated form for them to recognize it because they've never seen it in the home. So they don't even know what they're looking for.
What I find to be weird is the pushing of boundaries that women often find to be attractive. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, lots of women like to be grabbed and touched, generally by a man that they would like to grab and touch them.
But see, that's the thing. Not to cut you off, but it's just like with when women wear certain things, right? They wear clothes that, let's say, reveal or whatever. She got the little jeans on, it's coming up real high. She got the little yoga pants on. We've all seen that. You especially being on campus. They want to be seen and noticed, and they want to get the attention, but they want to get the attention from a very specific guy that is less than half the population. But all men are gonna look. So that's the thing. That's the interesting thing, and the predicament that we find ourselves in. It's like McDonald's going out there and putting up a Big Mac sign and wanting a certain type of person, a certain person to look at it. Let's say somebody with money, and getting mad because everybody's looking at it. The sign is on a billboard. People are gonna see it. They're gonna look. Even people that can't afford to buy the sandwich. You know what I'm saying? So don't advertise yourself in that way. Look for something else that's going to attract. That's another thing too. You can be upset with men for liking certain things, or a lot of women say men ain't shit. They just want sex. But that's all that you advertise. Again, I'm going to go back to the McDonald's or the fast food metaphor. If the sign says say Big Mac, the nigga is coming for a Big Mac. He ain't gonna come for a Mac real. You advertise Big Mac. You know what I'm saying? So if you advertising your body, don't be surprised when that's what the man coming for. Don't advertise your body and expect the nigga to check for your mind. The hell he gonna do that for?
I think you're right in that delaying of gratification, because it's weird. I'm not gonna say sex means more or less for each gender, because I've met people on both sides. I've met women who fall in love as soon as you sleep with them. I met guys. So, but depending on where you are in your sexual journey and just how you perceive things, sex is gonna mean something different for both parties. You know what I mean? And inherently, it does fuck up the friendship. One thing I've meditated on is being a friend would like to have. And imagine how crazy it would be if that sentiment was brought into relationships.
And I think part of what it is, relationships take so much maintenance, and they take so much to maintain, and to not only maintain but to grow in a relationship. You really have to be there to maintain it and grow it. You can't come in and say, I want this out of the relationship. You got to come in putting something in, and both parties do, or it's not going to flourish. You can't come in somewhere and, just take. What can I get? What can I get? What can I get? You know what I'm saying? You can't have that attitude in a relationship. A lot of people do have that attitude. And, I'm not perfect. I'm just saying that, that is the case, that we see with today's relationships, not to judge anybody, because I'm preaching to myself as much as anybody else.
So would you ever be friends with benefits with a woman?
I'll say this, I would want to, but I don't know that would be best for me. You know what I'm saying?
Because you would build attachments.
I think I would build attachments. I would be worried about whether or not she got pregnant, and we ain't playing for none of that mess. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing casual about sex. That's one of the most intimate things that you can do. So when you try to reduce it down to just this activity or just this thing me and this person do just because, we connect on that level, man, that's not wise.
I don't know. This is just something I've kind of discussed while we were, something I've kind of discovered while we were talking about this, because it's like, it's nothing casual about it, but like how we're building this project right here. This is sort of like our baby, right? And it's like, if you know what I mean, if it all goes back to that being a friend would like to have, because even if y'all are being intimate with one another, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think in friendships there can be betrayals, you know what I mean? So, but I do understand that things would get too serious, you know what I mean? That you would start to capture feelings.
Definitely. Ain't no way you're not going. You're human. Of course you're gonna catch feelings.
Personally, I think that I would just love to be friends, and then once we got to that point where it's like, oh shit, I think we're about to have sex with each other, or whatever the fuck we about to do. We about to make out. We about to touch, whatever. I do think that we should have a conversation on what the hell exactly are we doing here.
Very conservative of you to.
I think there's a way to really build something, and I don't know. When it comes to things like this, I tend to lean more conservative, just because I've seen that work out a lot better than being more liberal with it.
Yeah, so you can't be liberal with somebody's feelings. So.
Do you think you would catch feelings, or do you think the woman would catch feelings?
Who do I think would catch feelings first?
Yeah.
It depends on how attracted I am to her. And that attraction is going to be that attraction is going to be partly based on how she looks and how she talks and how she is as a person. If I like those two things, I catch feelings pretty quick.
I do think that maybe we would have overall better dating scenarios if instead of seeking out relationships, we sought out having more friendships. You know what I mean? With the opposite sex. I think that rushing to intimacy we can't even really have true intimacy, because, bitch, I don't know you and you don't know me.
You haven't formed any sort of a connection with that person. It's just a physical connection. You know what I'm saying? You don't know anything. Like you said, you don't know.
Let's say you enjoy you know, what y'all do when the lights turned off. We cannot get demonetized. Like, subscribe, and share. But
she good at what she do. She done had some practice. So you saying am I gonna catch feelings?
Or
what you saying?
Or she might just have that good, and she might when she take them damn clothes off. It might. So, but either way, you enjoy the experience. You know what I mean? Some females just have soft ass hands. That's all I'm saying. Some of them just got soft ass hands. Shit. You don't need to know what you're doing. Your hands be soft. Shit.
Wait a minute. What was that grip thing you just did? Oh man. So what you saying? Am I gonna catch feelings faster? Can we be friends? What you saying?
What I'm saying is,
we can't be friends because you got soft hands. You done took my soul. You got soft hands. I like hands. I don't know what we're talking about, man.
You know exactly what we talking about.
Okay, so yeah.
But here's what I'm saying. You like what she do. You like what she do, right? But on the friendship tip, you don't fuck with her that much. But you like what she do. She say she cool to just be cuddy buddies.
What am I gonna do?
What do you say to that? Also, she got a good job. She got a good background. She's intelligent. She's a sweet person. It's just we meet hella sweet females in his life. I really got to stop doing that whole female thing. Apparently, that's misogynoir. But she's a nice woman. She's an all around good person. But on the conversational level, maybe she likes reality TV way too much.
Oh, you said something right there. You almost ruined it. Well, okay.
Do you see anything wrong with just being cuddy buddies with her?
Yeah, I don't think you should do that. Now, am I gonna say that I want to? Am I gonna say that I want? Okay, let's do a little trial period. See how it go. You know, I'm saying that, like I said before, it goes back to what I said. Like, there's nothing casual about sleeping with somebody. So, while I may want it to be casual, I don't think that it's not gonna stay that way. And it may not even stay that way after the first time. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it's just when you're doing something like that, y'all both gotta stay in y'all role. Let's just say that. And it's so easy to break ranks when you're doing something like sleeping with somebody. Somebody will catch feelings and overstep a boundary somewhere. So it's just not wise, man. It's just not wise. So no, I'm gonna say that I would want to, know that I got immediate access to something that I like. You know what I'm saying? I would love that, but at the same time, I know that ultimately, that's not gonna be the wisest decision.
I think a good segue for that is like, as you grow into adulthood, you are rarely placed in a situation where you are able to just be friends with a woman. You know what I mean? Like, also, you really shouldn't be trying to fuck your coworkers. I mean, the chances of that working out is low, and then the repercussions is so goddamn high.
Yeah, you don't mess where you eat it.
What I'm saying is in the current thing of life right now, you aren't really able to build that friendship. It's either you're gonna show up and whichever way you meet her, like a club or walking down the street, you gotta come with that dating-ish. You know what I mean? So you don't even really get the opportunity to be that lady's friend.
Yeah, I think it just depends on, like, yeah, that's true. You got to make time for what it is that you want. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me get close to the camera. I think that you got to make time for what it is that you want. You know what I'm saying? And you're probably not gonna find a lot of women that just want to be friends and do nothing else. But I think that you do need to make time. You do need to make time, because what's the alternative? You go in, you rush into a situation, you sleep with this person, you have a kid, and you don't even know her. Now you in a bad situation. From there, you can go into having to pay 18 years of child support, This, that, and the other. There can be a lot of really messed up consequences that go with just leading with something like that instead of getting to know this person. You know what I'm saying? Going through a vetting process, looking to check and see if there are red flags. This something I can deal with? Is that something I can deal with? Any person, anybody you sleep with, you need to ask yourself, am I okay with having a child with this person? A lot of things that you can do to prevent that or whatever the case is, but you still see people that's got kids and paying child support. You still got people seeing that's got kids that they don't want. So it happens. So
Mhm.
while I understand what you're saying, like you don't have time to go out and just like, you may feel like you don't have time to just be friends with anybody. The alternative, you know what I'm saying, is just not worth it in most instances, I think personally. So you have to go through some sort of vetting process. You got to take that time.